Hi folks, welcome to Sci-Fi Scavenger. Today I'm going to review Places in the Darkness by Chris Brookmyre, published in the UK in 2017 by Orion Books. I've read a couple of his other books and they were firmly earthbound thrillers and not remotely science fiction in nature. In many respects this book follows his pattern. It's a whodunit, a somewhat hard-boiled detective noir, but in this case all the action takes place on a high-orbit space station, Ciudad de Cielo, City in the Sky. I shall attempt to avoid spoilers. Any details that I give are from the opening chapters. Right at the very beginning of the book, in the opening pages, we follow a couple of incidental characters as they stumble across a horrifically mutilated body whilst out performing their daily work. This isn't a simple murder. What message is being sent, and to whom? Is there a serial killer at work? This is a buddy tale, a police procedural in a sci-fi setting. Crack UN investigator Alice Blake is sent up to partner with local security officer Nikki Freeman. Ciudad de Cielo, or CDC, is famous for being essentially crime-free. Certainly they've never had a murder, at least officially. CDC's reason for being is scientific research into a future mission to the stars, including the building of the spaceship that will carry humanity there. Many of the inhabitants are scientists and engineers, but there are also maintenance folks, janitors, dockers, lab technicians, hospitality staff, security guards, the usual set of roles that you might need in a small town, all of life's rich tapestry. We quickly see that all is not as polished as the CDC's PR implies. There is a seedy underbelly to CDC, with all the usual vices on offer. It soon becomes clear that Nikki is up to her elbows in grift, taking protection money from the bar owners, prostitutes and gangsters. She has become jaded and cynical, leaving her past as an LAPD cop far behind her, both literally and figuratively. Alice Blake, the UN investigator, is an interesting individual. She is very sharp, with perfect memory recall. She's a very buttoned up, by the books, no nonsense kind of person. Nikki, by comparison, is a bit of a slob, street smart and well able to handle herself. They're quite a contrasting pair. In this future, people have interactive contact lenses, or even have a neural mesh integrated into their brain, so that those images are sent directly to their brains. So far, so science fiction. This neural mesh tech proves to be rather important to the plot in the latter stages of the book. As the pair begin to investigate the murder, initially thought to be related to a turf war between criminal gangs, they uncover more and more layers, and more murders too. There are hints of a broader conspiracy that may reach the very top of the corporate management of CDC. Consistent with every conspiracy in a thriller ever, as our protagonists get closer to the truth, the jeopardy level increases dramatically, and they had some close shaves. Alice even gets framed for the murders with convincing footage released. Is it a deep fake? Does she have a double? Or did she actually commit the murders but doesn't remember? After all, memory wipes are a thing in this future. Alice isn't sure herself, and Nikki has to decide who she can trust. This is definitely a detective thriller, perhaps a techno-thriller, that happens to be set in a space station. Yes, there's advanced tech, the mission to the stars, a space elevator, it's set in the future. These are all undeniably science fiction staples. But all this is really just background music, the scenery against which the play is performed. The guts of the story is the relationship between Alice and Nikki, and their hunt for the truth, bringing justice to those who so richly deserve it. I enjoyed Places in the Darkness. It moves along at quite a clip, and didn't demand too much of me as the reader. This is no SF genre classic. Instead it's a somewhat disposable thriller, but there's nothing wrong with that. It was diverting for a couple of days. I give it a 7 out of 10 for entertainment value alone. Thanks for watching. Tune in next time for more science fiction joy. To ensure that you stay up to date, you might consider subscribing to my channel. But bye for now.